Hey everybody, it's 1 week after Selection Sunday. It's the following Sunday and there's been a ton of action in the March Madness NCAA Division 1 Men's Basketball Championship. I'm showing you a standings page right now that looks pretty cool. I'm going to show you all how to get there. In my tournament, which has 604 people in it, and we're giving away nothing, but it's got a lot of entrants, 4 of my organizers have gotten back to me already and sent their brackets in. Brian Nooker, Phil Bauer, and Nate Dogg. Warren G's still alive, but Nate Dogg is only living in this bracket. He's tied for first place, and we've got current points and then potential points, and I'm going to show you how to create this table and do everything you can do so that you can show what's going on in your own bracket. I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of what it looks like. Let's read it out there for a second, and right now here it's East Coast time, 6 o'clock. There's a couple games going on. Huge upset alert down here. Stanford over Kansas, and also Kentucky over Wichita State. That already happened. I'm sure that's destroying lives as we speak. These other games are still going on today, and I'll be finishing up by the end of the night, Sunday, so you get through round 1, round 2. So after you've filled in your master bracket, under my tournament, we go 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, not too many points. But so we end up with these possible points in the mid-hundreds range. So here's how you make that table. If you need to display your standings and start to mess around and show different views, you go into your all data sheet. You already have a standings pivot table here, but I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch. Go into your all data sheet. See how I'm highlighting column A up into infinity, and I'm highlighting everything. You don't have an organizer column; you just have up to K. But you highlight everything, and then you go Insert, Pivot Table, put it in a new sheet, sure, why not? And one thing, I'm going to go really fast, and then you can pause, rewind, or whatever, because I just want to get this as quick as possible. So what I do is I like to get rid of grid lines because they look like crap. Then I say, all right, we care about the entry number needs to go in the row labels, and I'm going to move my pivot over so you can see it. This is a pivot table field list. We're doing a crash course in pivot tables. They're incredible. They will change your life if you get into them. So entry first in the row labels, then name. I want to look at this whole table in tabular view. That's under the design tab. If you click anywhere in the table and go into the design tab and you go report layout, you choose tabular view, most versions of Excel. I do not want to show subtotals, so I'm clicking subtotals, get those subtotals off. I do not care about grand totals. We got something going on in the kitchen if you can hear it in the background, but whatever. So now we're showing entries and names. And then the other 2 fields that I added in there were entry picks and game. And the game number, so let's grab entry picks, put that underneath this. What you're doing in the row labels, grab entry picks, and I'm also grabbing game. So what this does is the pivot table start to automatically organize stuff into a hierarchy based on this setup that you're showing up here. And you have all these different columns in the all data sheet that mean stuff. What game number is this? The game number is related to, I named these boxes, and it's very difficult to see on your screen right now, but this is game number 59, for example. All these are games. There's 63 games, and then there's a tiebreaker for scoring points. So they all have a game number. They all have like an entry number is an individual person, each entry number, right? Here's the name of the person. Here's what their picks were. This is what actually happens in real life in the master. This is what round that game was in. This is the total points possible that one could get when that game started. This is the points awarded. If they get it right, they get those points. This is the potential points that are left in the future. You can see these are games that haven't been picked yet. Like Florida's playing somebody in game number 49. There's no master result yet because it hasn't happened yet. It happens next week or the week after. So there's 3 potential points remaining for Rodney because he's got Florida and they're still alive. That's what the formula in here does, is it figures out if your team's still alive that you picked. Then there's an overall total points possible that you can have. That's finding its way into the table right here. And then whether or not your pick was eliminated, which you don't really care about. So what we've done is we need to add up in our new table. You saw how I created these 4 things. Now you need to go to points awarded, bring that down into the values quadrant, the values quadrant here, and you don't. It automatically reverts to counting them up, and you don't want to count them up, so you have to go to value field settings, choose sum, and then I actually changed the number format to have no decimals, just be like a number format of 0. And so this is going to give you your sum of all your points awarded. So this is actually current points, and you can actually type over these titles like I just did up there. So you've got current points, and you also want to display this in a condensed or collapsed format, and you can do that by collapsing upon the name. So if you click in the name here of the person, right-click, you get these options of expand, collapse, entire, expand entire field. They're also up here in the pivot table options menu in the analyze. They're collapse field, expand. So I'm going to collapse the entire field by collapsing entire here. And now all you just have is entry number and name, and then sum of total points. And we also want to have points possible, overall total possible score right there. So I'm grabbing overall total possible score, I'm putting that into values. So this is sum, and I got to make it a sum, just like I did with the other one. Instead of a count, sum it up, number, 0 decimals. Why not put the comma separator in there? Sure. So now what you've got is your total possible points. Total possible. The other thing, if you want to, I'm shrinking these things down. You can also go in and change your pivot table options here by right-clicking anywhere inside the table. Auto fit columns, that prevents your table from resizing itself every time you do something. So now it will only resize manually, like when you do this. It's resizing is moving columns or rows and making them bigger or smaller. So we now have our list of current points, total possible points. We want to sort this, right? And we want to rank it. So I'm going to insert a new column right here, and I'm going to call this thing rank. And it's very easy to write the rank formula. I don't really do it inside the pivot table. There's an option to code the rank within the pivot table and have it be a thing, but I was having trouble getting it to work, so I'm just going to use the easy formula. You type in =, rank, the word rank beginning parentheses, and this is a cell here. This is cell F4. You've got to type in F4. You can't click it because it's inside a pivot table. Type in F4, and then you want to rank F4 in the entire column F. So I just clicked F here, and then it wrote itself as being FF, F semicolon F. That's the entire field. That's fine. End parentheses, enter, and it should give me. So this person's ranked 74th right now out of everybody when it comes to total, or when it comes to current points. You can take this formula, and I'm copying it here, and just pasting it all the way down into the end of the table. And this is going to process, it's going to show you the ranks of all the different people in a minute, because it takes a little while, because I got 600 plus people in my tournament. But because we wrote the formula in that way, it's going to work as soon as it stops processing. And when it does that, I'm also going to resort everybody and show you what they look like by current total points and by points possible. And then I'll show you how you can really start to dig down and have fun with this using the slicers and figuring out what teams are still left and who has them in the late rounds by clicking slicers, which is a lot of fun. We got a nice long calculation taking place here. I should have only gone to row 600. Instead I went down to like 36,000. Now, so we're getting there in terms of what it looks like. So you're writing a formula off to the left to get the rank, and your table is doing everything else, keeping up the total points and the points possible. All right, there we go, finally. So now, right, this is a special column that we created ourselves. If you want to sort this thing, this whole table, what's going on in this table, and by the way, if you want to show different designs, you got different colors you can grab in a design tab. You can band rows. Oops. You can band rows or columns in the design tab. Makes it look a little better. Now, you go to this arrow here under entry, and then you go to more sort options. And you end up saying, I want to sort, and most versions of Excel are going to give you the more sort options. I think Excel 2010 and 2013 now. But you can sort descending by current points. And voila, everyone's going to move around. My son's going to eat a loud dinner. Right, kiddo? Quicker than I thought. So, as you can see, this sorted everybody out.
I finished.
You did? You finished? Come here. Can I show you something?
Okay.
Here. Come here. No, I guess he's running away. So you have a way to sort people, and you have a way to see what their rank is. Right? Nope. Busy around the and I gotta get out of here to a hockey game. Play a championship men's league hockey game in a few minutes. So there's more I want to discuss. I want to talk about inserting slicers, doing this and picking names and entry picks.